point platform. TTPTV. Oh yeah. Unale we pledge with love and loyalty to we sweet, sweet mama salute. Now we all come together as well on for tomorrow. Now we gon' make salute. Just one platform for news every day. Now we country salute for education, entertainment, political affairs. TTPTV. We put enough Tanga one inside Sierra Leone like a big quantity. We breeze not a shit. TTPT.
Yes, Fambulen, una welcome back to yet another very, very important segment where they come through the Talking Point platform. Just like any other day, we know they're done with Komon-Tok them. Of course, plenty Pawi already be done nobody's news, and plenty Pawi be done the wait actually if they materialize. So many discussions and counter discussion arguments. They make this. I mean, pros and cons, and everybody gets your own side of the story regarding the Ecomisl where they about for come if you're not already don't kind of the country yet. But today we get a privilege, a very, very special privilege, at least for the first time, forget Dr. Jimmy Kandeh. Of course, this now a very seasoned political scientist. We don't do so much for the country. Of one time, be the lecturer at Frobe College, and he also don't lecture at Richmond University, and get some more than 14 publications there where he don't do. And I check, he get more than 403 citations. That's a great thing for any researcher and any political scientist, you know. So meaning that you not just write books, so other people and they copying books or they reference her. So, and we proud at least as Sierra Leonean forget people like they are internationally well recognized, but even Oxford University itself gets a project where we do with and where a project regarding coups and where he writes for them. So you see, we get brains there, we get people there, we get solutions, so we get people there, we get ideas there, we get people who are able to explain things so we understand. So today we very, very, like I say, we'll be fortunate to get her in the program. You can explain to me the implication about Ecomisl, then presence one. We'll not just tap there, we go further so that, of course, we know about the constitutional review. As I explained earlier on, political scientists definitely go tell you what's missing or if everything is fine with the constitutional review. And we see Andrew Lavalley pull another survey where say people and free in the country for for votes, and people and free for get their leader. Democracy more or less is a perfect, because if you possibly don't put somebody up to their level and this 78 going to 80, well, what else? And of course, the tribunal reports, we know we left and so definitely we go ask and it'll be waiting on your side of it. So if you just join me for the first time, with a different sign now, with a TPP Leon on YouTube, perhaps you saw you see for the first time. If you want to join me, something we recommend for you do, just click the subscribe button, turn the notification bell, and let the rest of us definitely. Each time we come live here, we go send you an alert. That's a lot. Consider that. We also then have Facebook with the name Talking Point Platform. Again, you can follow me there. If you're not possible like Instagram, you know, accommodate for nobody. Okay, today we definitely stream day. Unfortunately, on TikTok, we're not able to stream day today. But I know we're able to now. We'll go for a good day. Anyway, they can just not come for the party issues. Better.
One platform for news every day. Now we can't alone. For education, entertainment, political affairs, TTPTV. We put enough Tanga one inside Sierra Leone like a big quantity. We breeze not a shit. TTPT.
All right. So as I say earlier on, straight to the point, we not get nothing for waste. But normally, when we get this opportunity for people like that, we want to let the message go far and wide. To consider that, as always, we not want to share, but this is just a gentle reminder, right? We go come Yes, we get to big man at the building. Yeah, good evening, Doc. You welcome the Talking Point platform. People are listening across the world. Unfortunately, people are not able to see in face because of some issues behind the scene, but that make we put in picture just in case you know ever seen picture. But I'm sure majority of the people in a salon already familiar. They don't familiarize themselves with in face. Yes, Doc, you get the mic. People are listening across the world.
Yeah. Good evening, and thank you for inviting me now on our show. Like you said, this is not the first time they make an appearance here. I saw unable come on video a little bit under the weather, but I did try for fight time and go through this particular engagement. I think you sent me a couple of topics there, where you say you want for make we talk about, and I don't know how you want to we go. I mean, there's the issue of political corruption, effective constitutional review, the significance of the Ecomisl, and the tribunal reports. I don't know if I didn't miss anything out. I think that kind of capture some of the subject areas that I think you all talk about, right?
Absolutely, and we go add some as time day goes on, if it time permits, we anyway. All
Yes.
right. So first thing first, I think the most important part first. Now we want to start with the much talk about ECOMOG, or now we say ECOMSIL. We want
Mm.
to play a choice two. I think this is just a 2 minute video. Let people and see, and from there we ask you if are we going when we don't are we go is foreign troops and go able to solve the problems or go able to help we get security. These are the worry. These are the $1 million question where a lot of people in, because it's for apart from the war. Now the first thing this would they see again foreign troops in the camp, then say they can't help we. Is this gonna be
Mm.
sustainable, or is this just probably another way? But we never understand. But being that you get the knowledge for labor help we, let me just put this clip when I like 1,200 get for camp.
Thank you, Excellency. You may be seated. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
All right, Fambo, we this video the rest 1 minute not get voice. We're sorry about that, but definitely I'm sure soon I don't see say now 1,200 trips in. So yes, Prof, I can we bring you inside this. Help you know we understand the implication about this, or what are the significance regarding this 1,200, just like what I asked earlier on.
Yes, the voice they break a little bit, so I just tee off with the parts where I agree, which is about the significance of the presence of ECOWAS then Salon. I think first and foremost, it tell us that all is not right here in our country, because if things were going all right, we're not going to need such a force in our country. And not only that, one gets for also look at the legitimacy these days of ECOWAS. Some countries that already pull out of ECOWAS because they cannot get a checkered record insofar as supporting or rather not being interventionist when it comes to electoral coups or constitutional coups, but a more forceful when it comes to military intervention. So this is a little bit different in the sense that then they send troops in a country that just hold an election. And I think if the election not being controversial and questionable, particularly the outcome. And the problem with that is that questionable electoral outcome, then they degrade democracy, no matter how much people they put in their time and effort for vote, particularly if the voter count not reflect the actual voting pattern. So I think it's a troublesome development, but one that may have been inevitable given the stake way the regional organization get in this country, given their prior intervention as Salone, and the fact that instability in Salone or any country in the region can ricochet and affect other countries that not the region. So it's not it's more like a holding pattern, whether it's sustainable or not. I think is another issue altogether. But at the end of the day, now we no more able to provide we own security, but we failed in doing that over and over again. Without foreign intervention, I doubt if we've been for able end the war we've been go through by ourselves. And now again, we kind of recreating some of the very conditions that will lead to war in this country when they invite foreign forces. Because the problem really gets back to governance. If governance been the improved since Kaba, and Kaba with his words and all, looked at power, saw his role quite beyond himself. That the interest way for safeguard and try for promote was much larger than himself. So governance, kind of got an uptick under Kaba, but we're not been get any continuity after that. In fact, on the contrary, governance worsened. It's like from year to year, from one leader to the other. And I don't get to in this situation in the first place. Absent bad governance, we not go get ECOMOG or ECOWAS to plenary country, they like today. It's not a good signal at all. It tells you that we can't get very polarized. And that polarization, the prevents we from working together in the interest of the country, because people see everything in through partisan lenses. So I think the significance is far reaching. It tells us that all is not right. It tells us that there are serious governance deficits that the country will not confront it, will not try for come to terms with it, with the issue many of them problem here under the rug, or kind of kick them down the road, but eventually you get for catch up with and we can see signs all over the place.
Okay, let's just jump in there quickly regarding, we say ECOWAS we say partly for blame about the unstable political situation that is sub-region. We go give you several examples. For example, in Guinea, we see waiting the former president, Alpha Condé do, where it changed the constitution. ECOWAS were there, they were seeing everything, and people in commods, and it rigged the election because according to their observation, according to what people say, and they allowed them back, then go congratulate them. Is it something like a blank check to African leaders, particularly sub-region, say, you go ahead, even if your country gets problematic election, we will still send you troop for go up you? Is it, are we going to shift the blame, or if you say there's a get blame on this particular issue that happen now with country, so all the sub-region?
Again, it must be the network I have, but they break a lot that they get you in kind of halves here and there. But I go again attempt for respond to what they say, whether or not, if I got you right, I think your question is whether or not this now a new pattern with ECOWAS intervening to stabilize countries with questionable electoral outcomes,
That's
or
correct.
we, as in the case of Guinea, where you cite, there was a constitutional coup, an electoral coup, and some people that don't like in Sierra Leone, Sierra Leone as having gone through an electoral coup, one based on the fact that the outcome of the last election was widely questioned, not just by opposition members, but by independent observers, because the tallies, the numbers simply did not add up, but that's another issue, altogether. So ECOWAS get more of an interest in stabilizing these so-called civilian coups. And what we have in increasingly in the sub-region are elected authoritarians, or those who believe that they were elected or can
All right. I think Fambo, I think we don't lost a little bit. So please patience because if very important at least we get this, getting these people sometimes very difficult, but and free lecture they can get so today. So it's really something we'll get for patience
the
and
network here for you.
yeah, the
I'm so
network,
sorry.
yeah, the network,
Yeah,
the network.
yeah, I'm so sorry. I'm doing the best I can, under the
Of course.
circumstances. But
Yeah.
like I said, we problem these days in the sub-region comes not only from military intervention, enough, but electoral and constitutional coups can also invite the military back, which is also terrible because we want the electorate to be the ones who will be the final arbiter as to who therefore govern we. So yes, I think it's a trouble pattern, but one that may have been inevitable given the kind of impasse that we've been experiencing as Salone. I mean, how are we going to resolve our differences? We've not been able to do that without foreign intervention. Sad to say. And it seems as if we're reeling backward. And if we not get we act together, I mean, things might get worse before they get any better. So,
So what do you
yes,
yeah,
go ahead, please.
yeah, what do you think say actually political leaders, stakeholders in the country for do? Because people are still fear how long and would I go actually pay for this? Are
Oh.
we now we they pay this them people, yeah, or maybe sometime external foreign power they help we how we they move from this end, this fear, the sense of fear or sense of tenseness in the country because we don't see foreign troops and now we gone.
Again, the network. I'm so
Or
sorry
it's
because
okay.
it's. I'm
We
sure it's
understand.
more from my part than from your part. But the presence of foreign troops in a country should not be too concerning, depending on the circumstances and the objective of the troop presence. Because we don't get foreign troops them na Salone before. Now they help rescue we. We not go there at peace today without the intervention of the Nigerians, the Guineans, the British. Yeah, there are some issues about that intervention, but with foreign intervention, and we were a ward of the international community for a long time. Without that, we'll not for being get back on any footing at all in this country. We'll not for be able to end we own war on we own. And we get for nip then kind of crisis they are in the board, so they not go escalate to the point where we go back, to where we were before. And I don't think say the international community or the regional bodies then get any kind of stomach for that right now. So yes, the presence of foreign troops can be concerning, but I think in many instances, especially in our own instance, I think we for take with some reservation, obviously, but also with an eye to the fact that without foreign intervention, the polarization, the drawn at this country between the two main political parties is such that they can really throw it back into the abyss. So, but also presence of foreign troop can also kind of chip away at we sovereignty. It also tell we say we sovereignty is more formal. Actually, sovereignty on the ground can always be questioned when you have a large contingent of foreign troops on your soil. But was it last year or 2 years ago when the Guinean leader rode into Sierra Leone with a
Yeah,
huge,
yeah, military.
contingent,
Yeah.
which to me was even more concerning than the one when ECOMOG is not simply one country. You wonder what the guys here were thinking by allowing such heavily armed, foreign troops to accompany their leader, into Sierra Leone. So yeah, but I think there are more important issues today in the country, and the ECOMOG or ECOWAS presence really is just the tip of the iceberg here, because
Yeah.
that just symptomatic, or a symptom rather, of a much larger problem, a governance problem who they face now this country, an enduring problem. It did not start today, but like I said, as critical as some of we be of Kaba in presidency, there were significant improvements in governance under Kaba. That could not be said of his successors, in my opinion.
All right, thank you. I like where you end down with governance issue, and that leads us to the next question where we talk about political corruption, and these are some of the challenges. Uh, Let people understand what it actually this word mean and how they unbog we ordinary person, the maybe that mommy where they perhaps in the last village we don't know about politics, that part where they that last corner we don't know about politics. How then they actually they transcend, they triple down to the last person.
Uh, 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 Waiting at the question again, because I hardly hear anything.
All right, okay, they get me now. They get me.
Yes.
Okay. Now I say if I'm where you link and so we they try to understand, people understand in the simplest term when we talk about political corruption, how
Yes.
it affects the ordinary person in our society.
Good question. I think the main problem that we face that is country, the main impact of political public corruption, and that include not only the politician them, but the civil servant them, the bureaucrats them, they're all complicit in it. First and foremost, corruption now the primary incubator of poverty. It impoverish with people there. With people they already poor. But the Lily and nothing will get for try for lift with people out of poverty. Now then they siphon off in terms of corruption. So first of all, it make people poor. It deepen the poverty. It means say we not go able to provide the goods and particularly services what people need. Corruption means say we not get the health care what people forget. It means say we not get the good educational system. We not get good, roads, the water, clean drinking water and electricity not readily available. All are the consequence of corruption, because we get the resources then at the country. Not only natural resources, but we get the human resource within we part of Sierra Leone for harness the resources and transform we country. But what is lacking is leadership. You know the effect corruption from below. You can only fet them from above. And that has never happened in this country. All you get is a slap on the wrist when they find you guilty of corruption. And the ACC is a sick joke. Agency, as far as me concerned, they go after the enemies of the incumbents, and that's been the case ever since. I think only under Valentine Collier briefly, also under Tijan Cole.
Well, ACC go okay. All right. I think we don't lost our family, a lot of patients. Of course, today this now one of the shows then we plenty people and this now wouldn't say now na Sasa recommend this. Say this month for Canada, so we don't go all out, we don't count Canada.
You know,
A
I'm
lot of
sorry
people,
again for the
yeah,
break.
it's
Like I
okay.
said, that's the network here for you.
We understand.
But waiting me also tell we is corruption not the only make people poor, like I said, are the primary incubator of poverty, and we political class now the primary producer of human misery in our country. Now, in not only the impoverished people, it alienate them. It had left them very disillusioned, heartbroken, not believing in the system that cannot cater to their needs or their interest or even their aspiration. Forget about aspiration. Lord, just talk about need their interest.
Yeah, I'm
We're
your
not
time for
responsive to their
before you
need
go.
their interest then they. So waiting you get and waiting they allow the corruption for fester is the absence of what we can call horizontal accountability mechanisms, like the auditor general office. Look what just happened to them, right? They fire both the auditor general and any assistant, and at the agency then they will need for check, the executive or any other body that is steeped in corruption. Parliament, obviously, forget about parliament. Parliament not go pass law we know they in their interest. The judiciary, like I always say, it cannot, they serve as an effective,
All right, so
horizontal,
I'm your time
accountability
for
mechanism. So corruption are a major problem in this country because the mechanism them way for check 'em, really not they work. And you get waiting, then can call Athena Salon and call them sacred cows in the literature and political science, call them reserved domains. That is individuals who are above the heat, of the law. We can get away with just about anything. Like they are above the law. The law cannot touch them. They get away with what ordinary citizens might not be able to get away with. So again, corruption are a major problem. And the way we go about it, the ACC has been a failure because the corruption continue for fester at all levels. It's not just at the top, it's at the bottom as well. But again,
large jump when it comes to the ACC. Okay, we don't lost some back. All right. Fumble, at least we get for the patient this on and off because these are very rare lectures and we hardly can get. So if we
gonna
get
be
time,
doing this all night.
yeah. So sorry about that. So if, yeah, people understand anyway. So you get me? You get me?
Hello?
Yeah, I they get you. They get me.
Hello?
I they get you. You get me?
Hello?
All right. What we go probably do?
Oh
Maybe
man.
sometime I go call you on the la call you on WhatsApp. I think then they go make a difference. I go call you on WhatsApp. I think then they go make a difference so that people then go get you la try for call you on WhatsApp.
Okay. I'm so sorry. It's the network.
All right. So family, try for call on WhatsApp instead because
Hello?
yeah, you get me, eh?
Yes.
All right, we want to use the WhatsApp instead of you use the StreamYard link. This one,
Yes. I think this is better.
yeah, this is better. So you better talk about anti-corruption, about the. But again, I'll be trying for arts. Then go tell you say Transparency International and other bodies and don't rank the high in terms of fighting corruption. Then we will side the MCC. Then get the MCC. One of the reasons it's because of the robustness in fighting against corruption. Which you will say, what is going on? If because it seems as if we rely on international validation when it comes to the governance system in the country. So if they point into that, though, we get doubts in them. What they go on? Will they miss something, or what's the problem?
Well, most of the organizations, the Transparency International and others, they're incapable of really capturing what's going on the ground. They look at more formal indicators, and some of the indicators there, now the government, they supply them, the statistics that they go by and some of the metrics that they use are often skewed in favor of governments, not always, because they do call out governments as well. But when you look at what is going on the ground, there has been no improvement insofar as the fight against corruption is concerned. If there was an improvement, the former, Auditor General and his deputy and our deputy will be in office today. It is definitely a telling commentary on the state of accountability. You're not able to fight corruption if you're not accountable.
Yeah,
you got to be not only transparent but accountable. Transparency International will look more at transparency indicators, but they are different from accountability indicators. And you got to have a system of check and balances which have been destroyed in this country. So nobody they can tell me, say, corruption, they erode or they diminish, in a salon, when every day, from everywhere, you're not just talking about corruption among politicians. Let me give you an example. I teach briefly at Fobe College before I make a statement of fact where the authorities not like about their but that's another point altogether.
Yeah, that one will get for Kauta definitely tonight. Go ahead, please.
Yes. But I found out even at the institution, because we education system broke, the whole system broke, and we education system right now is in tatters. Cash for grades, sex for grades. Now that's the rule. Now the driving imperatives that today, the cash imperative, the political imperative. I get a niece, we call me about, what was it, a couple months back, say a name no appear na a pass list for a nursing course where they do, because the teacher or instructor, the money we give, is say too small. So I asked, how much you get this woman here? He said 50 Leon, and I kind of laughed. I said, so he said, I only had Leona and cut off. So it's not just the males, the females as well. And it's at every level. Every level. And that's we're talking about corruption. And when I go donate book them, na Pujang boys school, which is like a feeder school, used to be a feeder school to CKC, because I also go donate STEM books then at CKC, St. Paul's, and schools all over the country. One of the things that the teacher then complained to me about was that the very practice where they jail them for, arrest them for, harass them for, tie them a cutting tree for, spying and everything, that's then they promote now so that they will get good grades that they can take to the donors them, say, look, we don't improve education overnight. All these calls where they come on as salon today, when it comes to figures, when it comes to data, they've all been cooked. Whether na census or whether na election or whether na waske or whatever election, waiting ever get for do with the truth. And the fact is usually not what is being emphasized here. Okay, so this notion that it depends what kind of figure, they can come up with all kind of figures. Just let them come up with figures, say education don't improve, scores have improved. Man, they will no math, they get A in math. Begin that we don't know no English, they get A in English. Some they even surprised by the score they will then get. Because they come with a new system where they grade the picking them individually, then they kind of grade them on a curve or something like that. Where your performance depend on the performance of other people and a cohort group. So this notion that there's been any improvement in corruption is bogus. It is partisan, if you ask the other side, they will say no. But the other side as complicit as the ones who are in there now today. And the problem is not only at the top, it's widespread, it's everywhere. And you cannot fight it from below. You can only begin to fight it from above. And that is what has been lacking in this country ever since.
All right. Well, I hope say you're able to see you're able to see because we just want to put one 46-second video.
No, I'm not a see, but that's fine. I can listen.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So we have to stop pretending that countries that just hold an election where sometimes the winner somehow magically gets 90% of the vote because all the opposition is locked up or can't get on TV is a democracy. Democracy depends on strong institutions, and it's about minority rights and checks and balances and freedom of speech and freedom of expression and a free press and the right to protest and petition the government and an independent judiciary and everybody having to follow the law.
All right. Now, I get two questions for you, Doc.
I know you're not, but I think I know what Obama will say about.
Oh, okay. Fantastic.
Not strong leaders, but strong institutions.
Yeah, exactly. I get two questions here. First, they talk about the institutions there and where Obama just mentioned that. And I remember again in a widely broadcast, shared short clip where some of will be retained. I think 1 year ago, you and the Minister of Information would be get without I think would have said the Tunis, Tunis, where would have the discourse about governance issue where you put would have played this for the people and many people understand. And this clip began this particular statement began for land doctor into trouble in hot waters with the authorities there. Because so much buried in social media. Family, I'll just put this in case you ever say it. This now one of the link out with the institutions there where I mean people and they interfere because from that particular interview we see say you contract FBC gets issued, then we remind you about now even though you said pull a statement. But anyway, go explain to me a little bit in a 1 minute save. Let me just do favor to people that
he made about the baseline where we started. JMB was not the baseline, my brother. JMB did not bring democracy to this country. There was Bintumani 1 and Bintumani 2. They kicked against democracy. You know who brought democracy in this country? It's not one individual. It was the students. It started in 1977, right, with a demonstration at Frobe College, followed by no college, no school, then taken over by the women's movement. JMB was very late in the game. I personally was a discussant at the launching of John Hirsch's book. John Hirsch was America's ambassador to Sierra Leone at the time. He wrote a book on diamonds and democracy in Sierra Leone. And in that book, he claimed that the junta at the time was very reluctant to hand over power, and all their actions indicated that. So let's just debunk this notion that JMB birthed democracy in this country. That's definitely not the case. But let me run down.
All right, Doc, you get unclear. You be there yourself.
Not much, but I think I remember pretty much.
All right. This clip because a lot of conversation. You talk about institution. April 1st, but we really understand when Obama in statements and connect them to Salon and with your personal experience and linking up with ACC. Go ahead. You get the mic.
Well, the point here is that we institutions, they're weak. We tend to gravitate toward personalities, strong personalities, or personality that we, they front as strong men, rather than try for grow institutions, then we go outlive their strong men here. But how you grow institution, nine will not address na this country. It's within political scientists they call institutionalization. That is the process whereby the values of the political system, the practices of the political system, get consensus, then come for the cherished and get legitimacy. And the way you institutionalize power, now by using power in a manner where beneficial to the people, in a manner where responsive to their interest, to their needs, and if possible, their aspirations as well, because we're not just about we need for food, healthcare, we also aspire for be better in life. And we want to live in a society where we provide the environment, we go enable we for make something out of we life. But today now, if I advise young people that you get an opportunity to get out of here, for improve your life, please do so. Because the opportunities here where we've been get before they grow up, then pretty much don't disappear. Unless you politically connected, you're not going to get an opportunity then this. So the whole issue about institutionalization is about exercising power, not only organizing power, and that comes with the Constitution and constitutionalism, but also by exercising power in a manner that will be responsive, or will respond to the masses, their interests, their needs, as well as their aspiration. On the issue of, democracy in Salon and how that relates to institution, it's very difficult for consolidate democracy in the midst of mass poverty. Democracy will emerge, yes, even in the poorest of countries, but we will not get any chance for consolidate that democracy, give a chance for mature, given the high levels of corruption in our country and the high levels of poverty in our country. Because democracy get for, even though not a major task that, but it get for deliver development. Otherwise, people go begin for lose, hope in democracy. And waiting have been state now that particular panel discussion involving the Minister of Information. I find that the Minister of Information at the time not been quite, informed about how democracy come na Salon, which was the second time around anyway. Please.
Go. I agree with you because exactly what you're talking, and there is a book where titled "Reflection on Sierra Leone" by a former senior police officer, when Ezekiel Coker puts exactly what you talk so that demonstration, 1977 demonstration at FBC. Now that in the Ignite, we be the advice them.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Even the seek for do really now for educate the audience.
Okay.
I'm not a politician, I'm an academic, and I'm committed to stating the facts. But you get a political class that is very uncomfortable with facts, that is very uncomfortable with the truth. Now, so fake dinner this country. All man the fake waiting they be, where they not be. And the fake say they be waiting they not be. And that I find very, very troubling. If you're not laborer, be proud for being a laborer. If you're not brigadier, be proud for being, brigadier or whatever. But not pretend for be waiting you not be. And what they were promoting was a false narrative. The one they were fed and some died for democracy in this country. Now students then. Then later on in the 90s against the MPLC, now the women's movement. I hold no brief for the likes of Zainab Bangura and others there. But they all been there panda movements there with women there for end MPLC rule and give a democracy a chance. The Tarawih student and the fight for democracy in the late 70s, none of them were really claimed for be democracy architects, not be even they around to do anything for further the cause of the people. So it's a false claim, and as an academic, you are obligated to refute that kind of false claim and set the facts right. If people are uncomfortable with the facts, so be it. But I not go shy away from stating the fact. Not only call me self good and call me. And since then, they took their job away. They don't feed me. They cannot feed me. I don't owe them anything. So I feel free for speak my mind. Because I owe my loyalty not to my country, not to any political party or tribe or anything of that nature.
All right.
If they feel uncomfortable with my analysis, so be it. But it is grounded in fact. And their analysis or their projection or narrative is grounded in all kinds of falsehoods. And like I said, we live in a very fake environment today. So I'm not surprised that any kind Jack Jill consider themselves to be doctor or whatever.
So then we pull you now. Then we pull you. I mean, I think they said you contract be done for big college. In fact, okay, please clear. Please clear.
Done for teach me class then. Yes.
Okay, so family they can get the clear information.
My master's class, they're not even turning the term papers yet. It was arbitrary, just out of the blue. Before that, even the VC be don't contact me, ask me, say, do I go and make her do some review of the social science system somewhere down the road. You know, obviously, contracts are renewed every year automatically.
Okay.
Even also I've been teaching at University of Richmond. Every year, then they renew contract, even though you are tenured, professor, means you can keep your job until you decide for retire, which I did. I taught there for 30 years. And each year, then they renew contract based on your personnel report, waiting you research, profile look like, your teaching, your service, and all of that stuff. But this was a very decadent environment. And I feel blessed that I'm no longer there, because what often happens, if they cannot hurt you, if they cannot run you out of there, they find a way to harm you. And me not can I have for learning how waste my life or whatever. I wanted to contribute. I was doing my best teaching in my life when I came here, and they prevented me from doing what I do best. But so be it. There are other ways I can get myself, occupied by writing and doing other kinds of stuff. It's just a shame, because a university and a department that is so poorly staffed, when some of we decide for come back for a mere pittance, because they cannot really pay us anything significant, especially when you try to compare to waiting some of we in the earn over there, they decide that, it just shows you how small they are, that they cannot take simple criticism grounded in fact. It's not even a criticism. It's not an opinion. It was just a statement of fact that they could not handle. And that really speaks poorly of our leadership in this country. Even Ernest Kuruma, when I came in 2010, they invited me in 2011 or so to come give a talk on their transformation conference. I gave a public lecture. Now, SLBC TV, it was organized by the late Herbert McLeod. McLeod came to me after the lecture. He was concerned. He said, I wish I'd been read this year before you can deliver this lecture, because it was very critical of the APC regime. And guess what? After that talk, Ernest told them that they should never show that tape again on SLBC TV. But that's about all he did. That they went ahead and still paid me for that talk that I gave. That was very, very critical of him. I was at SLBC TV. The tape was suppressed, but it later on appeared through a group that called itself Occupy Freetown or whatever it is. So the system, our political system, has become less tolerant than it was even before. It is becoming increasingly tolerant instead of becoming more tolerant. And when it comes to elections should be becoming cleaner and fairer. But that's not what's happening since Kabah. So it makes you very disillusioned about the future, of the country, particularly given the fact that we lack a visionary, transformative leadership. All we've had are leaders that are self-serving. And that's about all we've had. And unless that kind of, dynamic changes, I don't see a bright future, at least not in my lifetime, maybe in the lifetime of our kids or so, hopefully, because things cannot continue like this forever. It has to bottom out and things will, start to improve again. But if any improvement is to come about, people have to come to terms with the truth. They have to accept what is true. They have to accept what is the fact and not live a lie, a life of lies, distortion. and deceiving the people about what they are about when we all know what they are about.
All right, there is something catch me mind where you just talk about distortion. You talk about cook figures. These are something you say all figures are what they come out na salon in terms of whether na waskena, whether na election. I think
they cannot be trusted.
Yeah, it cannot be trusted. So, unfortunately, you're not able to see this survey or any in color when Andrew Lavali put her. It really painful for a lot of people that wouldn't see her, and it don't generate a lot of discussion.
Yes, but that fellow is very partisan, isn't it?
Yeah. Of course, people know who
so
say
I don't take his analysis seriously at all. If he was objective, that's another issue altogether. But he's never really portrayed the type of objectivity that will lend any type of credence to the figures that he spews out.
So you feel that this actually the monarch, because you talk about the future generation. The worst thing where they happen now for look like where you just talk about how democracy begin, and I quickly agree with you. Why? Not because Adeusa Abideusa is start, but because somebody write a book. And we are fortunate to read that book there. So I just 100% agree. What about in future when we get people like these guys, Andrew Lavalide, they put cook-off figures for future generations? Perhaps then go take them, then believe them, because just like how they believe in them book here, where we know say some of them people are be credible. What's in this really mean actually for passing this knowledge to people for future generation? What are the implications when you get rogue people where they're not objective? Look, not just get them for Fambule, it's small, and will have say freedom to choose whom to vote for. 97% of the people in Salon say they get freedom for choose. And we know what we know say this is contrary to the past election. He also talk about people support for presidential term limit. Okay, not left that side. I think that the most important part now, the other one, they're all in two bogos. So, like I say, I drop them back to you, and this one get for go in future. I mean, in history, it don't go down in history. People can get for pick them up after maybe what we don't go.
Yes, but the thing is, the information you get for look first of all at in survey design, who that they talk to, whether it was random, what regions of the country, all kinds of issues that you get for address, we go chip away at the credibility of the survey. And when it comes to the domestic consumption of that survey, you go find out, say, it will be partisan. The SFPP guys go believe, say, the survey figures are correct. The APC guys are not going to trust those figures. Most independents are not going to trust those figures anyway, because most of these guys are partisan, very supportive of the government. They represent so-called CSOs, civil society organizations, when they're supposed for the hold the government in foot to the fire. But they don't do that. They know they check the government. The government, they don't capture them. Political incumbents, they from civil society organization they get today. Not to like force them on the cabal. They are very assertive. Then begin lose the assertiveness under arrest. And they don't even get worse now. We all man they afraid for talk. All man they look out for themselves. So it's not just about state capture, it's about state capturing some of these CSOs and silencing and defanging them. So Lavali outfits now one of those. They're not representing the people. They are mouthpieces of the government. They simply convey events for the government, for spew out in propaganda and try for distort facts in a way. Look about the whole shit about, I'm sorry, my language, the whole crap about 97% of the people that feel say they get freedom to choose. That does not even begin to reflect the polarization at the country. If you talk to a lot of people in the other camp, they will tell you, say, 97% of them not believe, say, there is freedom to choose. So if you get that kind of polarization, the then figures they are ipso facto on the face of it, not reflect the waiting they go on at the country. Even before you dig deeper into the figures, say they are cooking them up, before serving them to the public. So it simply not sound credible at all. And it's not borne out by the last election. How people then they feel say they get freedom to choose their leader when the outcome of the last election was so contentious. It be so questionable. Almost half of the country questioned the outcome of the election. The independents, they question the outcome of the election. Then you turn around, say, almost 100% of the electorate believe, say, then they get freedom for choose. It's not just a freedom to go cast your vote that matters. It's the idea or knowledge that when you cast your votes will be counted. And that is not, so now the manipulation, not so even in the voting part of it, it's in the counting of votes. If the votes are not counted and people have lost confidence in the electoral mechanism as a way for change the government, then how you go begin talk about 97% of the people? Well, right now, the confidence of people in the electoral mechanism is at an all-time low. It wasn't like that under Kaba. We had one of the cleanest, fairest election in 2022 under Kaba. And even in 2002, 2002, and even in 2007, the election was clean. Even though the APC claimed that, it was rigged and it was stolen from them being the incumbent, you kind of wonder how elections are stolen from incumbent governments anyway. So the whole issue, therefore, about Sierra Leone being a democracy, it's a fake democracy like everything else. We were on the way to becoming an electoral democracy, but you are no longer an electoral democracy when you start manipulating the outcomes to serve the incumbent or whoever you decide should win the election. That chips away at any claim of being an electoral democracy, because definitely we'll find a way from becoming what you would call a liberal democracy. And democracy not to be election no more. It's about freedom of expression without fear of being harassed or losing your job or getting rounded up and thrown in prison or what have you. Elections about having a democracy is about having an independent judiciary, about having civil liberties, about having constitutionalism, limiting the power of the one day we in government. So democracy involves a whole lot more. And governance, good governance, obviously, involves a whole lot more than democracy. So we've not had that type of a visionary leadership in this country. And all we have with these civil society groups, they are being led by political hacks of one persuasion or the other. When APC is in power, they have their own front organizations. When SLPP is in power, they have their own front organizations. Even student union election now, the government they involved. And not to today begin. I remember when I've been doing a Fulbright in 2010, there was one young lady, Frances Mark. I happen to know the family very well. She won the APC election, but guess what? And asking people and say, and then SLPP, they prevented her from being president of the student union. And that has gotten worse now. Then they interfere in student election. The time there will be, I can't even begin to imagine that they happen. Look at the recent Bar Association election. Yeah. And you talk about freedom to choose. They don't even have a freedom to choose who their representatives will be in the Bar Association without intervention, heavy-handed intervention by the government, using the so-called, anti-corruption commissioner as returning officer or whatever it was, to just rig the outcome. Every outcome now is being rigged in this country. It's often said that the election they no go thief na saloon, you know, exist anymore. You know, paraphrasing a kind of religious thing that
what God can, what God cannot do does not exist. Anyway, really, they get the message clear here. Even though they run out of time, but it will be unfair if we not ask this question. In terms of course, you said aware about the constitutional review process will take place. What are you worry waiting they go on? Because a few days ago, without Femi Claudius Cole, Unity Party chairperson and leader, he said they invite they said, but only two minutes and give them for talk. He said them be so vexed because are you will give a leader of a political party on a very important topic like that, you go get 2 minutes for make submission. Why you even invite her in the first place? But as an academic and person with huge experience in the classroom as a political scientist, given this important document, what are you fear and what are you how we go get it right? What are your fears and how can we get this right?
I think you get it right by first of all making sure that the review commission is independent, and that is not happening. That is country. So once you begin to politicize the review committee, the commission itself, that creates a major problem, because the document will become more or less useful depending on how independent, the members are that drafted, the constitution, or that took the review, basically shepherded the review. So that's now major problem. But also important is the fact that we can get the best constitution in the world, but it's still not woke. What's more important than even, and you can't have constitutionalism without constitution, what's more important than constitutions is constitutionalism, that whatever the constitution state, once the people approve of that constitution, that constitution, they are an active constitution. It's not a dead constitution where they can manipulate at their will. That is the incumbent. We all see waiting and and try for do when able get third term with the Samsumana issue, where the Supreme Court simply roll over. We said we're not a lawyer, we don't read the Constitution. No, say that was a clear violation of the Constitution. But then go ahead anyway and got the rubber stamp, of the Supreme Court. So even Constitution we didn't all right, and that was the Peter Tucker Constitution that left no room for the kind of power where the Supreme Court gave annexed under that instance. But if so, even a constitution like that, where you feel say no grant certain power, they left to the judiciary. A corrupted judiciary can read anything in terms of the interpretation of the clauses of the Constitution. Now, having an independent body review the Constitution.
What do you mean independent? Let's just jump in quick here. What do you mean independent body? What constitutes an independent body in this case?
An independent body, maybe that is stretching it a little bit, but an independent body, I mean non-partisan individual.
Okay.
That ideally. And if that doesn't,
and how will they get there at this time?
You get representatives from all the parties.
Okay.
So that might make it a lot more difficult.
All right.
I think you want to start off with an independent body. Later on, try to get input, not just from so-called stakeholders at the top, but go to the community level and try to get input from them and see whether some of that input can inform the recommendations of the review committee. But I think you need to start off with an independent, non-partisan committee. And that is very difficult because all the incumbents think that they should just stack these bodies with their own supporters, just like they do with the public service, whatever it is. It's to even the educational institutions, is to stack them with their supporters, their loyalists, their supplicants, you name it. Those are the people they put in those positions. And when they put them there, I mean, it's like the so-called independent, Electoral Commission. everybody knew that that guy, what he was up to no good anyway. So those are the kind of people that find their way into those commissions or those committees and so forth. And obviously, once you get partisans in those positions who owe their loyalty not to the state, but to the individuals who appointed them, the outcome is going to be definitely less than what is required for a country that is trying to work its way, out of the political, economic, and social morass that we find ourselves in today. So the emphasis has to be on a committee that is not politicized, that is not partisan, and that will go after reserved domains. This whole idea of sacred cows still, feeding off the system. You want to reduce the power of the presidency and protect the rights of ordinary citizens. So constitution way more inclusionary. So constitutional design is important, but at the end of the day is this idea of constitutionalism, the notion that even those at the top have limits imposed on the way they can exercise political power. That even if they are elected, they cannot be elected dictators, because we'll find it out that even people who are elected, want to be dictators, not just in Africa. We'll find it out in America and elsewhere as well. So my take on the Constitution, therefore, is that it has to be inclusionary, because without that, you can't have good governance. And the idea of citizenship has to be addressed, because there are some exclusionary clauses that prevent, people who are not of Negro or African descent from being Sierra Leoneans, which really doesn't make sense to me at all, especially if individuals have been born here and grew up here. But that's the least of our problem, And maybe also there should be this issue of diaspora voting, which has not been taken up yet. A lot of our people are outside of the country. They represent a critical mass that can be less swayed by some of the ethnic chauvinism that pervades politics, not, our country. So we get more of that into the, but again, the political class, they don't want Unawedu Bayanda for votes. We've been fighting for that for quite a while. They don't want diaspora for vote because it will dilute the vote. It will dilute the role of tribalism, hopefully, because people over there are less kind of likely to vote on the basis of having been given money or just on the basis of tribalism or what have you than folks who are here, who may be given money and just go vote for who gave them money and so forth. So we need to revisit that idea of diaspora voting. And I think the electoral system as well, because there's always provision for the electoral system constitution. And I think the change to a PR system is a disaster, because all it does, it entrenches power in the hands of the party bigwigs. They get to now decide who will represent the constituents or districts. So there is that cutoff, rupture, rather, that connection between the representative and their constituents has been blown away. Now all the MPs have to do is kiss up to the bigwigs in their parties, and they will always get the nomination for representing, their constituents.
So, if you say that you would with democracy, I agree with you, because certain things that you're not able to team up, you challenge that in a parliament, because you fear if you not get the blessing of your party. Is it another stab on the back of democracy?
It is. Not that PR systems are all bad. I always feel like Brazil, the PR system is much better, but our electorate will not that sophisticated for adopt Brazil, the PR system, because Brazil, the PR system, where you go vote, they only vote for a party, but each party, they get a list of candidates, then prioritize them from 1 to 2, list of candidates then for that constituency. So you vote for a party, but the party gets in list. You also vote for a candidate. And the candidate with the highest vote for that constituency, if not the party win, now that candidate they represent that constituency or district, not so the candidate where the party choose. Now the candidate where the people then choose, because they call a candidate list, PR. But we not get a system there. We not just the party they decide, then get a list, now then they decide, elect the representative not popular in the district. If 90 party wants 90 go there, and that is wrong. That is anti-democratic. And democracy now for popularized power, not so for entrenched power in the hands of very few, especially people that were not sensitive about the concerns of the masses or ordinary folks.
All right, thank you very much. We really don't beat with time a little bit up. Famble, we know say the program really interested. We see a good number of people in the share, and I think one of the most watched program tonight, as people they anticipate your presence. We normally the open line for let people and talk, ask question. We don't know if you're going to spare probably 20 minutes for let people and call across the world and ask a question.
Yeah, that's okay, no problem.
All right, thank you very much. So Fambul, we go come, we take 2 minutes break. When we come, we'll come open the line. We give you the chance for let you ask Doc and any other question we you get in the mind. We take 2 minutes, we can just now.
Talking Point platform, TTP. Oh, yeah.
If you want to subscribe to the TPP Lyon YouTube page on your phone, click and open the YouTube app. Now the search box, just type Komon-Tok and click enter. When the page display, look at the top middle and click the subscribe button. Subscribe. And not tap the O. Click the bell close to the subscribe button and select all. As you don't subscribe, so anytime we go live, you go be among the first people them where they get notification. If you want to subscribe to the TPP Lyon YouTube page on your phone, click and open the YouTube app. Now the search box, just type Komon-Tok and click enter. When the page display, look at the top middle and click the subscribe button. Subscribe. And not tap the O. Click the bell close to the subscribe button and select all. As you don't subscribe, so anytime we go live, you go be among the first people then where they get notification.
Second part of the program when I turn for call and ask question, and we go also see on our messages there, on our text messages there, I think now we start first with the calls or the I just see. All right, now we start with the texting. Then we continue with the calls there. This one they come up from Muhammad Kamara. He said Dr. Jimmy Kandeh is one of Sierra Leone's best, wishing him all the best. And this one they come up from Alusan Caesar. He said the hills and the valleys will echo our cry. We patriotic Sierra Leoneans will win this fight for democracy very soon. And this one they come out. Yeah, family, they can open the line, no worry. This one they come up from by Focus. Amdullah Bali, Mohammed Kane, and Ben Kaifala have reduced Sierra into ridicule globally. They are an embarrassment to the green, white, and blue flag. Posterity will come someday. All right, so let's start the first calls there. Yes, call outside the call from. Yes, who side they call from?
Hello?
Yeah, who side they call from?
I call from I'm a salute.
All right, you get the platform. You get 2 minutes.
Thank you for doing your research, for we from some people. You see, I think I need to tell you, I mean, brothers and sisters, I don't know if now we can do with people and they know what they see something good for themselves again, you know. Now, I don't mind they see with all this female happen, they see we pass on this APC for go register. We there, I mean, money where they take soccer. Now, some get some tell them, then two political parties are not good for that mission. Now we look for a thought force and check these people, and the only thought force now the unity party. Because they don't show themselves time without number, how did they come out and pull them, then let's put that and put them handle. If I come on top, you believe say that rather than some amount of money, if I find where it make for himself.
Well, we don't get that, so we're not going to talk with you.
No, me they tell you now, if Nara like ask her one day, he will confirm her phone. Trust me. They call her because I know very well what I'm saying.
All right, two minutes. Now we had another voice, my brother. Thank you very much. You go call back anyway in case you want to add your voice. All right. Okay. Now we take another voice. Yes, call outside the call from. Who side they call from?
It's Kylondo.
Oh, yeah, Kylondo. Go ahead, please,
yes,
Kylondo. You get the platform. Who side they call from for the benefit of people there?
Calling from New York, man.
You get the platform. Go ahead, please.
Yes, boss. With the area about this Germany business. But Sierra Leoneans, West Africa, would they sell we sold them? Would they see the Kenyan president, we go, they go sign for let them deport young people there. We think Africa not to this direction for go. We see them live, and the old man see them. So what would they expect, Sierra Leone? At the same thing. Whether they say people that for good demonstrate this, we need visionary leaders in our country. They're not to political parties. Now don't forget about political party then. If we don't get visionary leaders, it got to be a problem.
Exactly.
But yeah, if Burkina Faso, Mali, they all they drive ECOWAS, we they go accept them. What that means is problems. You know? That's problems, bro. You see, law not accept anything and the culture not the same. But we don't say ECOWAS always then at the one side. Then support Alaji Kaba, take power. The people that we fed the revolution, we die, we this, then neglect them. All the people that we then bring now foreign people and tell you say you get PhD, you get this, but you don't have no common sense. You just like Mr. Komon-Tok, what they do so? Not a PhD you get, not to this, not just common sense. Thank you, sir. God bless you.
God bless you too. Now we had another voice. Yes, call outside the call from. Who side they call from? No, the line may break. I mean, who side they call from?
Yeah, they come from UK.
All right, you get the platform. Go ahead, please. You get 2 minutes.
Yeah, I want to say thanks. Thank you for bringing Mr. Kandeh, Dr. Kandeh. You know, these are one of the faithful of that nation. I've been serving the nation judiciously, and we don't follow all in debate and in talks. And he was real, actually. He not get that panic, that fear. He did say things like, he really did talk like a professor, somebody we really like. He had God now, God fearing, not to TV. Some of who they follow debate upon debate and what he good work they do. You know, it sounds great. You see, my brother, what did happen so naturally is dangerous. dangerous. It's not something we foresee on people like Dr. Kandeh and other top elites. The way get the way for fight democracy. Because mind you, this is our country. This is our country. We're not going to allow few people to just galvanize themselves, hijack the power, sit down into that. No, that's dangerous. We know we can't turn like then Joseph Stalin in Russia in those days. That's dangerous. So now then till then they will try for they actually try for avoid. So what if them will leave me and then we talk and we also because we all has a role for play because she launched it at a big crime scene. Now everybody involved, including the ordinary people themselves, because we all support all of these bad elements, cause division, and cause to blackmail others, bribery, corruption, all of that to see how the guys can quickly don't become rich. But where you get people in the cheap money and the whole money, broad daylight and state them back to those positions.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much, Ahmed. You will call back.
Dangerous the country, don't they? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. All right, so they had another voice. Yes, call outside the call from. Who's side they call from?
Hello?
Yeah, who's side they call from?
Yeah, Komon-Tok. How are you, sir?
Not bad, pa. Who's side they call from?
Yeah, I did call from US.
All right, you get the platform. Go ahead. You get 2 minutes.
Yeah, I just want to thank you, at least for bringing this great man on this platform. Well, Doc, actually, some of we be really sympathize with you, for the last time when you began on AYV TV, at least for give you perspective in terms of governance and democracy. It'd be really unfortunate which you go through. Yeah, so we pray, God continue for guide and bless you, Doc. Yeah, Doc, the question now is how you feel, say, because we don't look, see, this appointment, especially of the anti-corruption, let me say the election management bodies, we include maybe the police, the ACC, the auditor general, the judiciary, all the institutions there. Which best method, so that we will able to take out that dependency ratio, from their institutions there. Which best method you feel will be applicable for Sierra Leone? So I thank you very much, Doc.
All right. Thank you very much. Go answer. Now we had another voice. Yes, call outside the call from. Who said the call from?
Yes. Mr. Komon-Tok, good evening. How do you doing?
Good evening. Yes. Who said the call from?
Call from France.
All right. You get the platform. Go ahead, please. You get 2 minutes.
Yeah, okay. Mr. Kandeh, I really enjoy analysis, but I disagree with you once on other side, the things the way they say. The democracy in that country, to new age, from President Kaba in time, late President Kaba in time, James Juna, my employed democracy in that country. You understand? Will not be ever get a genuine result from the elections of late President Kaba. So that's how we can talk about. I disagree with you. Then in 2007, you analyze about that result 3. I agree with you because we see really the hardship also where people want the change of government. So the result being come with the will of the people. They will see the celebration. Then they agree with you. 2012, I know they did. Lastly, what thing I go say to the youth system of that country and the people holding that country, anyone will get chance, let's just try for common that country. That country, for the next generation, I must see better for that country. Let everybody just try no more. At least let's try for commodity, they can for greener pasture. Me, I see them from long time. I make a try by all possible means accommodate during the same time and delegate that terrible thinking. So that is my own contribution.
Thank you very much. We go take another call. All right, slow take this one. Okay, don't miss this one. All right, slow take this one. Yes, call outside the call from.
Hello, good evening, Mr. Komon-Tok.
Yes, boss. Outside the call from.
Yeah. Now, after the talk.
Yes.
It's called from the Komon-Tok community.
Yes, after you have the platform, go ahead.
Kandeh, I want to tell you plenty. Thank you. When I listen to you, tell it in a classroom a day. You know, it's like you bring everything to the people as how it day. Truth to matter. Then kind of some other people they talk and Salman all for them to understand. But it coming, these things coming from you now. At least they throw so much insight because you get plenty students they don't listen to in a public college. Almost a better place than the world. You don't lecture, and now you say they can't say them. And Unravelling a disappointment to Sierra Leoneans because in when they lead such kind of institution in the life and the people of Sierra Leone, they use skewed data and whatever outside they pull their own data and they submit. I disagree with that caller we saying that James Jonah Puel democracy in a salon. Not to that we can discuss now also. If people let me don't pull the thing, now we for solve it. We for stop now. We waiting to solve the problem now. This arrogance of nobody for ask questions, the arrogance of say now maybe bring democracy, which was a lie. I mean, I've been first time voter in 1996, where Zana Bangura that we see fight against that thing. Even if we did Bintumani 1, Bintumani 2, Bintumani 2 was not even necessary as waiting we decide in the car Bintumani 200, whatever they want for column. So Dr. Kandeh, once again, I want to tell you plenty. Thank you. I appreciate you come on at the station for educate people of Sierra Leone. We will continue for share this particular thing almost like every day, make people and get some far away. Thank you very much, Mr. Komon-Tok.
Thank you very much for joining us, and thank you for making your submission. All right, now we had another. Okay, we'll just take 2 more calls so that at least the calls are not go too much, so it will able respond. We take this one. Okay, we don't miss this one. All right, we got to try for take 1 more. All right, so let's see if we will get this person online. This person on the struggle for call. All right, okay, let's take this one. Yes, call outside the call from.
How you doing?
No bad,
Thank you for your program.
Thank you too. Which side the call from?
I call from the US.
All right, you get the platform. Go ahead. You get 2 minutes for ask question or comment.
Well, it's just a statement and small clarification. First of all, I want to tell Professor Jimmy Kandeh for any day for discuss some of this issue there we don't point Sierra Leone today. You know, Jimmy Kandeh now one of the bright sons of Sierra Leone. We look up to them people and they because not to today. I don't know for over more than 20 years. I remember one time it was a discussion at one program which is cancelled that doing Chijankaba time. So which they even criticized Chijankaba government, that Chijankaba government is corrupt, and that they think it will be one of the corrupt person. But it's just a joke. It was at that discussion with Professor Ramadan Doumbouya, Dr. James Jonah, and one luminary also of Sierra Leone, one of TORC, Professor Ismail Ashib. So Jimmy Kandeh is a very focused man. You know, he loves Sierra Leone. I see how they victimize them by just saying truth, just simple truth. We are always saying like one caller just say when he mentioned the 1996 election, we know how democracy can accelerate, right? The junta in the second Bintumani deliberately said they're not going to even provide security at that conference if the election never go on, because at the time they will just contact Fode Sanko, then they try for talk say they want peace before election. But the people at Bintumani say no, election before peace. And indeed, that's
all right, thank you.
Of the people.
Yeah,
proceed.
Thank you very much, Mboda.
Dr. Jimmy Kandeh make it continue for talk for Sierra Leone. We go listen if we will get the 1,000, like all the few of the other good Sierra Leoneans like Samba Bobo, like Pierce, Marcela Samba, these are good people. We don't left that country the why? Because they stand up for the truth, they say truth to power. So if we need to account for leadership, we will start from the top to the bottom, not from the bottom to the top. They couldn't go one more, they go try and Bangatic, say a thief.
Okay, thank you very much, my brother. Yes,
accountability should start from the top.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. Brilliant suggestion and submission. Thanks for your statement. All right, let's just take this last one. Done. The last at the rumble. All right, okay. Let's pause this first. At least let me give Doc the chance for a respond. The tech side, I will not left for now, please, with the Kandeh. Yes, Doc. I hope so. They get the calls them across the wall.
Yes, by and large.
Okay, go ahead, please.
I want to thank the callers for their kind sentiment the way they express, and for being supportive of the idea that we'll not go give up on the country, and we'll not go give up on speaking the truth to power, because now the true now go set we all free. Now the true go set we on the right path, the right trajectory for revive and resurrect the country. Because the politicians, they destroy the country. Sad to say. And I know they say not just one set of politicians, but the politics now the number one work profession, na salon, where people then they enter for try for line their pockets and get rich quick. So I appreciate the sentiments then we kind of reinforce myself your kind of analysis and perspective on waiting they go on now the country. I know one of the callers say disagree with me on the James Jonah election, the way it leads to Kaba, I think in first term in office. That was the 1996 election. I know say some man then claim say, some problem in there na Kailang and all of that, and not only under Jonah but later on even in 2007, under Christian Atok. But when you compare that to like the last election, the controversy in the election, they did not rise to the level where they rise in the last election. And I'm glad the way the caller himself mentioned the fact that the 2007 election was a peaceful, free, and fair election, as well as 2002. In fact, I think 2002 was the freest, because Kaba won a landslide, almost 70% of the vote, even winning Gambia and Koinadugu, which are considered to be the other parties' stronghold. So yes, we can disagree on the conduct of some of their election there, but like 20 and 2007, it's difficult for claims say the election and they being rigged to the point that it affect the outcome, particularly 2007, when the election we strengthened Salon democratic credential, because we get a change in political party then in power. Same thing in 2017. It's just that simply changing, party is not enough. Now, for level get incumbents with a lost election now this country, now it will be significant. Like waiting to happen twice now Senegal with Wade, and before that Diouf losing the election. The last one obviously shall not be won, so a party lost. But what is more significant now for the incumbent loss, and we not get there yet. Now, with the issue of how we can strengthen the accountability institutions or mechanism, it begins with trying for remove politics from the institution and try for depoliticize them. It's difficult for do, because every incumbent one for put their own person, na their position and they. But I think an office like the Auditor General, I think it will be isolated somewhat from, not completely isolated, but it should not, its work in operation not for be subject to the whim or the caprice of the incumbent president, where just because he don't want to be accountable, will fire the Auditor General, after they begin for look at the seats there, where they come with Badiem. I think it was from the First Lady or whatever office it was. I don't even remember the full details. But again, without accountability, democracy not get a chance. For consolidate democracy, you not only need vertical accountability, where the people and the vote for their leader, but more significant for consolidate democracy. Now then checks and balances, where institutions then they serve as a check on each other. And that not they happen as alone, they like today. And one institution in particular, where been they serve this function, the Auditor General office, no longer they perform that function, because now they're not even audit, certain, bodies where they feel say they're not supposed for audit. And the judiciary, again, is just as politicized. The problem with all of the institution here, now their politicization. Not to say Salon unique in that. Most other countries, there are degrees of politicization. But you get country there where the judiciary can stand up against the executive. They happen in South Africa, they happen in Nigeria, they happen in Ghana and elsewhere, even in Senegal. So we need a judiciary where can stand up to the executive, and that not happened yet, because most of the judges there, as we see with the last Supreme Court, travesty involving the Sam Sumana case. So the best method for go ahead, I think you really begin with leadership. We'll not get the right leadership. A visionary, transformative leader will ensure that their institution here function effectively. What has been lacking in our country now, a good leader. We will govern in the interest of the people, not in the interest of himself or in supplicants and so forth. So it's a long road ahead. But I feel say the Accountant General, forget about the ACC. If the judiciary be the function properly, we will not even need the ACC. The ACC is just another cover-up agency. I don't think it serve any useful purpose. And they just big office for them. Instead of a bill hospital or something more sober and serious, they go be lagba office for ACC. I mean, I see the work where they do, other than for cover up for the big weeks that we happen for be the incumbent. Now, on what other issue? Let me see here. On the claim of solving the issue of solving our problems now, and how we go about it. And I think we get for recognize the problem in the first place, because if you don't recognize the problem where you get, how you go solve that? If you're not sick patient, realize say you sick, they go to doctors and they treat you. So Salona like a patient, a sick patient. And we therefore first accept the fact that we're seriously sick, that we country in a broken country, before we can even begin for take steps for mend this country. And it's gonna be a long, long process, because the damage that has been done, I don't want this year. I don't they are now for like 3 years after living in the US for almost 40 years. And the country where I left, wow, now like night and day. So the country where I come back to, everything has been destroyed. The social fabric, not there anymore. The majority, the average Sarah Lone man today, a woman today, now so thief with the pan. Now they tell people as who when they grow up, yes, people have been a thief. But that one may not be the exception, not to be the norm. Now stealing has been normalized at all levels, and it's so disheartening, because no country they go before with such level of theft. They thief you from above, from below, from the left, from the right. Sometimes it's overwhelming. You experience it as an ordinary citizen, but you also experience it in all shapes and forms from the police. I mean, when they say they fight corruption, it's a sick joke. Just look at the police. You have fed corruption. Stop the police from extorting motorists constantly. Sunday, they pull me over past street in the same week, just for being extort.
That's what they do. You want to stop corruption, why not they go after that? It's petty corruption, but it all adds up. If the one day way they enforce the law, the police, then are the principal lawbreakers, then how are you going to fight corruption at the country? It goes with the one day way they make the law. They're not going to make the law for fight corruption against themselves. Now make the law, they only call for a slap on the wrist when they find you guilty, of corruption. So I think we start off by, first of all, accepting the condition we don't find ourselves in, and not sugarcoating it, and not running away from the truth, embracing what is the truth, and trying to work ourselves out of the mess we don't find ourselves in. Like most hopeful period since the war ended were during the Kabah years. I'm not gonna lie, as critical as I was, but I feel say Kabah was interested in building institutions where go function impartially and independently. Yes, there were some shortcomings, there were some problems, but Kabah was far more inclusive than his successor. In fact, Kabah in Patiman and in the Bonner and say, they look out for them because he brought in a lot of Northerners in his government, and emphasizing a president of Salon, not to a president of any one party or any one region. Now, then kind leader that we need in Salon, we go look beyond their own personal interests and try for promote the interest of the country, embody that interest there, promote them for the good of all. Because I can always say this in all me talk there, that when the country go before, we all the benefit.
Yeah.
But if not only few of we the benefit, we can't they ever go before.
All right, so we don't know the line's still hot. So I don't know if you go spare like 5 more calls there. We know say
just a few more.
A few. All right, not a problem. So Fambule, perhaps we don't take 5 more calls. Then we end up that side, and the Texas they are not vex, so they can definitely on a voice Igueria. I'll just take this one. I don't know if you don't read this. So democracy is not dead. Democracy is fighting back. We will get rid of all. We will get rid of all bad work, deceitful and deceitful, not good for purpose politicians. And this one they come out from Yebu Regents, where they say, all right. Yebu Regents, they say, instead of us fixing the problem, all right, no, another response to the law left-handed. This one they come up from Yebu. We say all of the heads of the institution should lose their jobs. All right, now let's take the calls and 5 calls, and then we stop the calls on side. Yes, my brother, outside the call from.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Komon-Tok, for this legacy and also for the opportunity that also for contribute with knowledge that we'll get. Doctor, thank you for coming on this program also, and we'll ask more again, and not forget if they come and go lectures them. So waiting me the for suggest no more now that we come today. Honestly,
we say they call for the benefit of the people, eh?
I call from America.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Virginia.
Yeah, go ahead.
To be specific.
Yeah.
I call from Virginia. So what I for says, people don't get respect for themselves, people don't get dignity, too much poor. Now in the cause that continue for let it happen. So, but again, poor, some people are poor, but they still get dignity. Very good. Meanwhile, the suggestion I want to suggest say, some of them people are also supposed to vote them for election. The IG, the Electoral Commission, they put them a ballot, they put them like they get them special election, they will vote for them. Let the people vote them, the electoral leader them. And the anti-corruption, if you get for exist, they will vote for them, and they will vote for the Auditor General, them they will vote for them. If you go to vote for them people and they start in office them, the judiciary side and vote for them, they more better. Let's say all get Kalu parliamentarian them, or they vote for the NEC, not easy for them to take them off, some let them pull it to our parliament so long. Go and vote for them. So if we vote for certain office, then we vote for them. The government they will influence them because they vote for them. Just like how we see the mayor, you vote for me for pull mayor, but when I vote for, I don't say vote for them, vote for me. So easy for them. It's a fair parliament. So I suggest if they never do this electoral this constitutional review, then think of letting and they And that may suggest that Hotelano go help that country small. If we vote for them no more, trust me, you know what easily just go get them come able to dictate to them what you want, Because they will talk to them, vote for you, Mr. President, they vote for this position again. So you're not going to tell me anything. So that's going to help their country small. We also have now this country, so starting they will put them into ballot. They say let them go there and vote for the next position. They will try to change up. And when they vote for them, they back let people get respect for themselves. They let them get career. We will not get career. This is the big problem. Because remember, if he left power, he will get self go. Look, the deputy political general. We're not glad it happen. When you get career, I get it with self. When you come there, he go friends or I walk back. But look at the fire, look parliamentary. You tell me, SF will not get good people at all. They look at the country, they don't get respect for themselves or say, it's just let me resign. Even not fire themselves, if you get respect for yourself, say, I resign. If you know that if you do.
Yeah.
Politics, no, we for
thank you very much. I'm glad we bring camp around. Yes, that self-respect, yeah. You in the catch a live now, everybody see the evidence all over in face, but still sit on say then it's still a bit, yeah. It's still proud, yeah. Disgraceful, shameful career politician there. Thank you very much. No, we had another voice. Brilliant.
Thank you, Mr. Thank you so much.
All right.
I always appreciate you. Bye-bye.
All right, thank you very much. All right, now we just had another voice. So get this one. Yes, call outside the call from.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, outside the call from. We they barely hear you clearly.
I call from the Komon-Tok.
Okay, you get the platform. Go ahead, Pa. You get 2 minutes.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Kandeh, for we highlighting, about democracy, talk about democracy, and try for lecture people in this community. We appreciate that, and thank you also, Mr. Komon-Tok, for which you do for the nation. We appreciate that.
Thank you too.
On Sierra Leone politics, the Dr. Kandeh already done give you the answers them with the struggle, because you play a video about the former president of the United States, Barack Obama. When you watch that video, you will understand what's happening in Africa as a whole, in Sierra Leone as a case study. The institutions them weak, that he may could get these difficulties until now. Because if their institutions and they don't weak, these political parties, the way they come to power, they don't go manipulate anything in the country. If the police in the neutral, they're not for be able to kill or execute people or even stifle democracy protests in the country. If the constitution, the institutions them strong in Sierra Leone, the judiciary not for be ever side with any political party, So we answers them that the institutions they are all weak. So I think say now we assignments and they will get as Sierra Leoneans within the diaspora and the one within a home we based on the country too. We need for help them, let them understand say that they will solutions that they for they will be able for strengthening institutions there. Because other than that, I don't see any light at the end of the tunnel for that country.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your contribution. Brilliant contribution. All right. So we'll take the last caller. This will be the last call, and then we'll wrap up the program. This will be the last caller. Yes, call outside the call from.
Yeah, hello. This na Gombe Musatonya here.
Yes, my brother. You get the platform. Outside the call from the.
I call from Philly. I just want to tell me, Doc, thanks so much for what they come on this program today. I'm glad when they talk about democracy in Salona, so tears they run down my eyes. When they talk about 1977, they talk about people like Inolo Try. They talk about them people like Ali Kabade. They talk about people like Moevi Kela na Kenima. They one and they. Then days and they were in the student strike till 1981. Unfortunately, they will lead one protest in Kenima.
When me send the stone inside the government bus, the boss was stone and my brother will him be the travel for go free on that day. Now boss just imagine those days with the protest for the country. Now the country this day like today, one great man don't come. It don't turn everything what people struggle for, everything what family then die for, because them struggle then I bring about the rebel war. All the people that wouldn't die for is like they don't die for nothing. Matter you don't can't turn over everything. Today salon we all see the look one great man they destroy the fate of that country. I feel like when dog says something we're not going to see the redemption of the country in real lifetime. It's painful. When you get a country for 63 years, will not get potable water. Country will get seven rivers. Will get more than 7 dams. Will not get current flow of electricity. After they don't spend $354 million per guna. Tell them bring water, then bring rest all. PL 480. They don't sell them for long get guna light. States they will not get light in alone. The one great banker in the kind that baru the country, see now they look at. It's really disheartening. Douglas, God bless you. You sacrifice, you left all the job now for God enlightening people in that country because of treason. They say if you left that country, if you left the university again. Look how horrible the education is. The man in flagship program, you know able to execute well. The free education is in tatters right now. Nothing matter be not do for 6 years. The man plant rice, and now they read and say now they harvest. For 6 years we plant rice. Now they say they harvest. This man a sober man. Boss, you know they talk true in that country there. Andrew Valley and others sit on the life of people there. But you know what? The day of reckoning they come. We will get to any guy out. Everybody go pay for what they do in that country.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, brilliant suggestion and contribution. Thank you very much. Well, that will be the last caller for tonight. We really sorry. We know say more people are on call, but you know, anything we get beginning, it gets must get an end. Love just do justice to we Texas then. We take like 10. Don't we allow let doc just give submission? Love we say allow let's go rest. And this one they come up from Ahmed Kamara. He said democracy is dead in Sierra Leone, but we will surely wake it up if we all come together. And all right, okay. And this one they come up from Rockefeller. He said, those of you who speak the truth are the worst enemies of the government. When you go otherwise, you are the best. Woeful. This one they come up from J. Gel Chalo. He said, any opposition that is always available for dialogue is not an opposition, but a partner in crime or accomplice. And this. Okay, let me go a little bit. And this one they come from Musu Bangura. I say corruption and execution is the highest crime in our country today. And this one they come from Zakaria Sanko. Then they come out overseas for Kamlai and give us fake promises. At the end of the day, no able fulfill none. So lie and fake promises that saloon politicians don't depend on. And this one they come from Arthur Peter Austin. He say anybody who speaks the truth becomes an enemy of the state, and their sycophant commonly referred to as Belesico. And okay, we'll just go a little bit up. Follow, we not forget the other way they up. You know, say many. It's not so like more than 200 texting. Of course, Pambula we apologize in advance. Not all we will take. All right, I'll just take 2 more, then we say bye-bye. Yeah. And this one they come up for Delwyn Thomas. They say, why does the word Ecomisl only appear on the RSLAF website? This is zero digital footprints about Ecomisl, including ECOWAS website. This one they come up from Gombe. We as a nation have only 3 professors, and Dr. Jimmy Kandeh is one of them, while Dr. Abdallah and Dr. Kamara and others period. And all right, so yes, Kelvin, thank you very much for joining us, and Capricia Fula, thank you for joining us. And we see a whole lot of text and messages, and they come and they drop heavily, hundreds of messages. And we apologize, family. We go tap the text as well as the caller and hand over the mic to Professor Lay up we and summarize this one. Over to you, sir.
Okay, let me just respond to some of the comments there. First, the gentleman we called from Virginia, talking about our politicians and all respect themselves and all of that. But I think he makes some very interesting suggestion about voting in some of these the officials in some of their position here we get for ensure say the politician they accountable. Mexico already passed law say all the judges then therefore elect them. Inject some politics into the process, obviously, because you want the judges then for kind of steer clear of politics. But I guess within them they emphasize we might make sense to many is for ensure say the judges themselves accountable. So you know, we get a judge for life, for instance, like in the United States, or a judge where an incumbent president can easily remove. And the same, you know, case we can make the same case for the IG or the Electoral Commissioner, especially the Auditor General. And often say the president for the in any position for the fire the Auditor General, because the Auditor General therefore audit and hold all man accountable. So now only Uda no one let the whole accountable. Nine go out for get rid of the Auditor General way no let. This same Auditor General have been go after an Ebola case and everything, expose all kinds of stuff. It's left to the authorities for act on the recommendation of the Auditor General and so forth. They don't get much of any enforcement power per se, but what it can do now for pull ways na do, and that's we need the the Auditor General for. But they don't want to let them pull their ways na do. Now that they up to no good, now they don't want to let them pull their ways na do. So if you elect them, so that might insulate them a little bit from the political process. And I think those are the kind of suggestions that could be thought through and, foresee whether or not it's workable in real environment and how we can go about that. And another caller talk about weak institutions and how we institutions, they're weak, alluding to it in Obama been saying. But I think we need to go beyond just saying that we institutions then weak, for pose the question why we institutions then weak. And the answer to that is that it largely get for deal with the interest of the political class, because now they feel most threatened by strong institution. Who that strong institution? Who that day in the interest? Now the political class, the one that we no one for be accountable. Now they no one strong institution, because strong institution go call them to question. Strong institution go pretty much question waiting than they do. But the other issue is not only for identify why we institutions then weak and link that problem to the interest of the one that within our power, but also for reflect on how we can go about for strengthening the institution. The surest way for poor country like we, for strengthening we institution them and nurture loyalty to this state institution, now for allow them for perform in a manner where we all can identify with. If you know the benefit from institution, you know go loyal to them. Look like if the institution not they perform services where they benefit the people, you know go loyal to them. So like foreigner, they go kaya they establish organization. But the organization and the work with and they do can never be institutionalized until they begin for work for serve the interest of the ordinary Sierra Leonean. We're not they talk about the elite. The ordinary Sierra Leonean will make the majority of the population. So now the way that you go strengthen institution by allowing them to perform in a manner that is responsive to the interest of ordinary Sierra Leoneans, their needs, because we need for take, basically, center stage when it comes to government policy and how we go about for implement that policy. And the last point from Musa from Philadelphia, Gombe, my old friend, I agree with most of them. You can see most of the issues that, pretty much from the same perspective. And one of the Sierra Leoneans where I respect, because not to man where they get swayed by sentiments or identity politics. I really respect people the way they rise above identity politics now in this country, because now that's the ruin the country. And make a useful point about how painful it is that some of we people live their entire life will not see any developments now country. And not to all other country citizens and go say that. Some other countries in Africa, then the next strides, no question about it. But we know they make no stride. We're not even there in a holding pattern. We're not even there in a holding pattern where you say they one place first. No, everything is in reverse. Everything is in reverse. Things there will be they take for granted. I can tell kids that today say some of we grow up with electricity, clean drinking water, good roads, good schools, a good healthcare system. I can't say the same anymore. Even the school that we attend, the Albert Academy, it also undone that I'm not going to recommend them for anybody. I'm proud alum, but I'm not going to recommend them to anybody today. Not to talk about Fobe College. It's not, even look like college or university, because much of what is going on there, they're not interested in educating our children. They're just interested in collecting money from them for fees and passing them based on the money that they can pay to these lecturers. Not all lecturers do that, but the vast majority are cash for grade, lecturers and teachers. That not the norm now, not the country. So our country is broken. And the fear is that we are bordering on waiting I call an authoritarian reversal. If democracy turns out to be a sham, then what you end up with is authoritarianism, whether you like it or not, and God forbid we return to, because much of waiting they go on now reminiscent of the one-party state, where go feel free for talk. People that they afraid say they go lost their job. Civil society not get any type of power at all. Pretty much voiceless. So now who da go talk for the people? Who will stand up for the people? The politicians are not going to. You look at the APC and tripartite, or they were just looking out for themselves. Saying that they go back parliament, that was just a sick joke. As they decide for period and backlog or whatever, they all took back to parliament. So it's a sad commentary that we don't have a strong opposition and we don't have a government that one can look up to lift our people out of poverty and create the circumstances and conditions under which people then go thrive and, make something out of their lives. Because you don't really need a handout from the government. All we need for let the government create the circumstances, the conditions under which people then will able to tap into their potential and become something in their life. I will end there today.
All right, thank you very much. We really, really appreciate your time here, and hundreds and hundreds of people themselves saying the same. and we really learn a lot today. And we hope perhaps maybe some other day you will spare time again for kind of educate and sensitize the people. We're so hungry. Sierra Leoneans are actually we debian the deficit in terms of their knowledge are huge. Thank you so much. And so Fambu, now so we end the conversation with Doctor, and we wish you all the best. Good night to you, sir.
Okay, thank you, and thanks for having me this evening, and best of luck to you, and thanks for all you do to promote the interest of our country.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much. So, Fambu, tomorrow back we did with another program. Naya, hopefully, we come back very early. We did with we go there with Boyi, Jack, the mic, the mic. Okay, now. All right. So tomorrow we deal with Boyi Jalo Jamboria. We go get a very interesting program, and we go look at other issues then. And on Wednesday we deal with Reggie Cole. Of course, I know that name. Then a ring bell, not so. Reggie there with we on Wednesday, and we just want to use this opportunity for let the voice daily message go far and wide. You know, in getting your own way, I do doing things. I feel we will get so much benefit in terms of ideas. You know, it's not about all the time about politics. Sometimes they'll bring business ideas or people who don't succeed in life, how they do it, or willing for share. That's not the thing. And there are people where they don't succeed in life, but they're not willing for share. But if people are willing for share, then I think for embrace that. So on Wednesday, hopefully, we get Reggie Cole Naya. We get for can talk to we the Komon-Tok community. My name is Mr. Komon-Tok. Then bye bye. If you just join me, if you know watch them program there, check you will see how they do things there. And if you know now for subscribe, we will just put for you the method how to go about that. We will highly welcome you for let be part of we family. Maybe you will be the newest family, but trust me, check over with videos you will definitely say you worth joining us and follow we do what we do together. The program now we all do down, just so you know. Now we get your own parts. The text now three side. The Texas and get their own parts, the colors and get their own parts, we get our own parts. Tripartite. Now we really get it tripartite. Now we get it tripartite. Now we really get it tripartite. Yeah. Now we get it tripartite. And bye bye. We'll see you back tomorrow. Bye bye.
If you want to subscribe to the TPP Lyon YouTube page on your phone, click and open the YouTube app. Now the search box, just type Komon-Tok and click enter. When the page display, look at the top middle and click the subscribe button. Subscribe. And not tap the click the bell close to the subscribe button and select all. As you don't subscribe, so anytime we go live, you go be among the first people them where they get notification.
and family. Judge not your brother that you may not be judged. You left for the blame, forget about your name. We all forget together for being sweet and known. Style master they ask for money when the government don't say no for pay school fee. Tell me why you they sell them books when the government don't make them begin rolling. Tell me now if they picking online, now if you say sweet and known for my bike with jam. Teacher tell me why the school not on my kids, you just the land that people for make them be corrupt. Why really you they left sit down? They watch you country salon. Some saying at this, some saying at that, some saying at the way with the men we are. Oh, oh. Never make some love, 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 never make some love.
This battle of practice now I mix up with country. Now I make them people just did that with this century. Solomon got six problem and not true. If we not let farmers sweet to go, we know they grow so. Tell me when we go begin see. Fruits and nights and water now we sweet salon. Tell me when we go begin see. Then you see where they can just for make the land. When really we go begin see. Then we minerals they go and better team. Tell me when we go begin see. We all the calling say Solomon and forget to try. Tell me when we go begin see. We take contact now with brother Solomon they and some saying that this, some saying that, some saying that the one that with the rule we are. Oh, oh.
1, 2, they want make me some food. 3, 4, when most of we pour. Some saying that this, some saying that, some saying that the one that with the rule we are. Oh, oh.
Now me say sing again.
1, 2, they want make me some food. 3, 4, when most of we pour. Some saying that this.